What new calculated evils does Brainiac have planned for the friends and family of Superman? Well, let's hop into the pages of Action Comics number 1056, a continuation of the House of Brainiac event, and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we check back on in with Lex Luthor, who turned against Clark, as well as all of his recent good guy character development, all in an attempt to try and protect his daughter from Brainiac's wrath. Lex is at his heart, though, a problem solver and is desperately trying to get to the bottom of what exactly it is Brainiac is doing right now. He knows it requires an insane amount of power, as well as an insane amount of moving parts, so much to the point Brainiac Prime went out of his way to recruit many other Brainiacs from across the multiverse to assist him. And of course, we can't forget awakening a whole army of lost Zarnians to do his dirty work for him, something that even Lex notes is deeply un-Brainiac in just how unprecise he's being. Speaking of the Zarnians, as we transition on over to them, they're doing battle with Superman and Lobo. Leave it to the Man of Steel to realize that these cool space motorcycles that these blood-crazed regenerating maniacs ride can be used just as well as projectiles against them. Of course, even after scoring this victory, Superman and the main man just barely managed to escape General Jakal and the others. Fighting one Lobo-sized threat is bad enough, but fighting an entire army, well, that's just going to have to be a bridge that Superman crosses when he gets to it. As far as Superboy Conner Kent and Supergirl go, they've decided that they've waited just long enough and tried to mount their own escape. They managed to make it out of Brainiac's little jars, unfortunately. Once they get out, they're still shrunk down to microscopic size and completely devoid of all of their powers. Meaning that if they released everyone else, unfortunately they would be stuck in the same boat as them. It's with that in mind, Conner and Kara go out of their way to rescue two of the villains, Livewire and Parasite, who hadn't been shrunken down at all yet, as Brainiac was still torturing them and attempting to steal away their amazing powers. Luckily for our heroes, Livewire and Parasite have been on the side of the Angels recently, and perhaps even better for them is that Brainiac, being the universe's ultimate hoarder, was sure to keep an entire armory stocked with some truly amazing weapons. After Supergirl and Superboy manage to grow back to full size, they lead a full-on assault against all of Brainiac's multiversal doubles, only to end up getting caught out by Brainiac Prime himself. He could very well have killed his hated foe Supergirl right here, but instead he decides to keep her alive, even opting to gloat by showing her what exactly it is he has planned. You see, one of the things Luthor's actually been doing for Brainiac right now is helping him to resize one of his jarred cities, but this isn't just any jarred city, this is actually a piece of Planet Callooh, aka the very same planet that Brainiac was from originally, the planet that was destroyed by the Omega Titans. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a call back to them either when I cracked this book, but here it is. Brainiac says that in saving this piece of his old planet, what he was really doing was creating a kingdom for himself, but also for his queen. From there, we transition back over to Superman and Lobo, who are deciding to hit the cosmic pavement looking for any leads into where Brainiac might be hiding with all of his hostages. It's there they end up deciding to rattle the cage of freaking Space Cabby. Wow, what a deep cut. Cabby tells our heroes that Brainiac has been very busy recently. Earth wasn't the only place that the new Zarnian army attacked. In fact, they've been destroying multiple planets that have their own metahuman population. Again, whatever Brainiac is doing, he needs more power than anyone has ever managed to assemble in one place at one time before. This information sadly isn't going to do Superman much good, as at that very moment, General Jakal and the Zarnians manage to find them again. It makes sense. If Lobo is able to track Supes down wherever he goes via scent, surely these guys can do the same. Surprise, surprise though, this time around General Jakal doesn't want to fight. In fact, he wants to break bread, saying that he doesn't exactly love the idea of living under Brainiac's thumb ever since being freed. He says that he basically lost the best years of his life in that domed city, and he feels that his days are coming to an end, and that maybe he should hand over control of the bad blood to a worthy successor, someone who has kept the legend of Zarnian might alive in all the years that he's been stuck away. Someone like, oh, I don't know, Lobo the main man? Of course, you just don't get to be promoted to boss of bosses by doing nothing. Jakal says that if Lobo wants to run the bad blood and be reunited with his own race, then he's going to have to do something he's never done before. He's going to have to kill Superman once and for all, and it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, everybody. Well, actually, that's where the main story comes to a close. If you stick around, there's actually a really good backup story starring Vil Drox and the Legion of Superheroes Brainiac, basically the original Brainiac Brainiac's son, who ends up getting dragged back into his evil father's machinations because, again, as I've said time and time again, the major theme of House of Brainiac is family on multiple levels. As far as this issue goes, I thought it was another really solid offering from Joshua Williamson. The action looks great. It's nice to see Supergirl and the other Kryptonian hostages actually go on their own little side adventures and prove that they don't always need Superman swooping on in to save them. Brainiac's characterization under Williamson also continues to be really fun and interesting. There's a line in this issue that's probably going to live in my head for a while moving forward, and that is Brainiac is a being with all the knowledge in the universe, but very little creativity on how to use it. And in the end, I feel like they're signposting that that's ultimately going to be his downfall here in this story. Overall, I would give this one another very positive 8 out of 10. You don't want to miss that backup story because it's actually a really cool mood piece. That's also probably going to be important to the rest of the story moving forward. Overall, I would give this one another very positive 8 out of 10, and I cannot wait for the next part. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.